Let's talk about the Cincinnati Reds for a moment. The Reds currently have three of the most polarizing players in fantasy baseball. I've received more questions about Homer Bailey, Tony Cingrani, and Billy Hamilton than I've gotten about all other Major League players combined since the start of the season. Seriously, it's not even been close. First up, Homer Bailey. Look, the guy clearly has the stuff. Even with an ERA over 8 after 3 starts, he's striking out almost 9 batters per 9. He's only walked 5 guys, but he's given up 6 home runs. He's simply missing spots a handful of times each game and getting too much of the fat part of the plate when he misses. Major league hitters are going to do damage when you make mistakes like that. He'll get it corrected, he'll be fine. For the life of me, I can't understand why so many people are down on Tony Cingrani. This whole thing about he's only got 1 pitch has gotten so out of control. Eno Saris of Fangraphs.com wrote a great piece on this earlier this week that appeared on FoxSports.com. And you're doing yourself a disservice if after you finish watching this, if you don't go over there and read it. Cingrani hides the ball remarkably well, and the ball comes right from where the glove was, and batters just have a very hard time picking the ball up. He's able to vary the speeds, and he moves the ball up, down, in, and out. In just a partial Major League season last year, only one pitcher, Madison Bumgarner, threw more than 750 four-seam fastballs and had a better whiff rate on the pitch than Cingrani. Eno points out that Cingrani got more whiffs on that pitch last season than the 2 all-star starters, Matt Harvey and Max Scherzer. Look, he had the lowest ERA in the minor leagues last season while he was there, and he's now logged 127 major league innings, and his ERA is 2.16, his whip hovers just under 1.1, and he strikes out more than 10.5 batters per 9. Forget the fact that someone told you or that you read he only has 1 pitch, so he can't sustain success. There's 2 things about that. A, anyone who says it or wrote it has definitely never gotten into the batter's box against him. And 2, as major league hitters make adjustments, he's a major league pitcher, he's going to make adjustments as well. So to not have Tony Cingrani on your roster because you've been told that he only has 1 pitch has to be the shallowest level analysis that I've heard in a very long time. He's had too much success at every level, including the major league level, for that argument to have any validity whatsoever. And now for the big elephant in the room, Billy Hamilton. You know, when they talk about Billy Hamilton, there's a Billy Hamilton that's already set the standard for stolen bases in the major leagues, and that's sliding Billy Hamilton, who's a Major League Hall of Famer. He played from 1888 to 1901, and he did it upright. Billy had 914 career stolen bases and years with stolen base totals of 97, 100, 102, and 111. 2 times. And he had a career on base percentage of .455 with a high OBP of .521 in 1894. And he was a career .344 hitter, hitting .403 in 1893. Now, let's not confuse that Billy Hamilton with the current one. Coming into the week, Billy had 47 plate appearances on the season. He had 7 hits and 10 strikeouts and 2 walks. 2. He had more strikeouts than walks and hits combined. But the Reds have put Joey Votto in the 2 hole, and he's hitting the bejesus out of the ball, and there isn't a more patient player in the entire game at the plate, so Hamilton's gonna get his chances to run. Yesterday, Hamilton had a hit, a walk, 2 stolen bases, and 2 runs scored. And I suspect he'll have quite a few of those days as the season goes along. Now, the Reds will be patient to a fault with Hamilton, as well they should. He's tried to bunt his way on. Unfortunately, he's not very good at it, but the fact that they have to defend against it should create plenty of holes on the infield for him. And if you can just refrain from swinging the bat so much, how hard that can that be? You just stand there, right? Well, he'll get some walks as well. Look, in the end, Hamilton isn't going to hit that well, but he really doesn't need to. Unless there's a base runner in front of him or the game's out of reach one way or another, it's going to be a rarity if he doesn't attempt to steal on the occasions that he does get on. Coming into today, Hamilton has been on base 11 times, and he tried to steal 6 of them. Will he get thrown out some? Sure, these are major league batteries, and there are guys that you can't get good jumps off of, and the catchers can throw. So he's not going to play like the Hall of Famer Billy Hamilton, but he's going to steal plenty of bases, and you'd think with Votto and Phillips batting behind him, he'll score a share of runs too. So, should you trade him or trade for him? Well, at this point, it's so early in the season that I'd have a hard time if I drafted him not attempting to reap some of the benefits that I drafted him for. If I did that, then I made a mistake drafting him to begin with. Now, I don't know what you thought you were going to get with Billy Hamilton, but he's WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. He serves a purpose in fantasy. He's good for some categories and not so much for others. Now, whether you should trade him or trade for him at this point should have more to do with the composition of your roster than anything else, because what Hamilton offers is pretty predictable. Hey, the first ever fantasy sports network is here. Heck, you're watching it now. But now you can take it wherever you go. The new Fantasy Sports Network mobile app is your season ticket to the latest fantasy news, information, and analysis. Get access to the live stream of television programming, along with a suite of in-depth articles, on-demand videos, and podcasts. Fantasy Sports now goes wherever you go. The Fantasy Sports Network mobile app, available now on iTunes.